Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a part 2 video covering my full Spirit Halloween zombie baby collection. If you have not seen the first video I did on my collection, the link for it will be in the description below, but basically in that video I did a complete overview of all of the zombie babies that I owned up until that point, which at the time was 38. Now, in the time since making that video, I have expanded my collection quite a bit further with several new babies that you can see here in front of me right now, which is why I decided I would make a part 2 video so that you all could see which new babies have since been added. So without any further ado here, let's get started. So starting out over here is the first new baby in my collection, which is the Pacifier zombie baby. This is a 2016 zombie baby, and it is very similar to another zombie baby Spirit had back in 2012 called Thumbsucker. Both of them had the babies sucking on the thumbs of dismembered hands that they were holding, but while the Thumbsucker baby featured lights and sound, this one here is completely static. One thing I will note about him, however, is his size. He is actually a lot bigger in person than I thought he would be. I think when I first saw him online, because I never actually did see him in stores, I thought he was going to be more the size of like Slaytime, but no, you can kind of see based on the size of like some of the babies around him, he is actually a very large zombie baby. But honestly, I just think that is very cool. It's much more lifelike, and so overall, I think he is a very good zombie baby prop. Coming back here, then we have Four Eyes. This is a baby that appeared at the 2014 Last Chance gas station theme. Definitely falls into the gorier category of zombie babies, I would say, with him holding these two freshly ripped out eyeballs, complete with the bloody tendrils coming down. Pretty gross, but nothing I think we wouldn't expect from a zombie baby, so in my opinion, it is perfectly normal behavior. I really do like him. He is fully static, so he does not do anything, but again, is just a very good static zombie baby prop. Next up here, we have Handstand Larry. This one, I think a lot of people have opinions on. He came out, I believe back in 2018. He was still around in 2020 this year in stores. And I know most people I've talked to say they don't really like him for the sole reason that he doesn't really look like a zombie baby. Sure, he has sharp teeth there and his clothes are a little torn, but honestly, and I agree with him, there's really nothing else about him that would suggest he's, well, a zombie baby. I really think they could have done a little better with his design. You know, maybe pale skin, white eyes, maybe some blood coming out of his mouth, dripping up his face, I don't know. But, I mean, he is not totally without merit because there are a few things I like about him. The main being his pose. I think the idea to have a zombie baby doing a handstand and being able to freestand without like any external help is very cool. I also really like his paint job. I think they did a good job with that. I don't know why I'm tipping the camera trying to see his face. I mean, right side up, his face actually does look pretty menacing. But I do think they did a good job on the overall look of him. I just think that I wish the design was just a bit better, but honestly, nothing you can really do about that. He is still an official Spirit zombie baby, and I'm still happy to have him in my collection. So coming down here now, we then have Snack Time. This one came out back in 2011, I think, so it's an older zombie baby. I remember the year it first came out in stores, and I also distinctly remember it flying out of stores. This one was very, very popular. It seemed like this is the baby everyone wanted it to have. And honestly, I'm surprised I've never had him in my collection till now. Probably he fell into the same category as Brainita, which I mentioned in my last video. He might have been a little too graphic for my parents to let me get at the time. But now that I kind of have my own money to spend, I decided, I want him in my collection. So, of course, I bought him. Now, he is fully static, so he does not do anything. But he definitely is very scary, very zombie-like. And even though he doesn't do anything, I'd say he fits very well in any zombie display you may have. Now coming up here is one that, if you saw my last video, you will know was a top priority on my list to try and track down, and that is Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat is a older baby. I think she was only sold 1 year in 2010. But she is an animatronic baby, so she does move. Her animations include her eyes lighting up red, her head turning from side to side, and making some creepy cat-like growls and meowing sounds. She is a very rare prop to find, so I was very happy to be able to track one down that still pretty much works. I did have her repaired. Her head did not turn originally, but I was able to get it to work, so it does move now. And overall, her condition is still very, very good. She does have a couple little blemishes in her latex that you can see on her nose and around her eyes, but it honestly does not detract from her overall appearance, in my opinion, at all. So very happy to finally have her. I've been looking for her for a long time, and I just think she is probably one of my favorite of the older kind of original line of zombie babies. Coming down here now, we then have the Lollipop zombie baby from 2015. This is, in my opinion, probably the best zombie baby we got out of that year. If you can't tell what I'm showing you, it is a two-faced zombie baby. So we have one face here on the front of the head and then the other on the back. That is a very, very cool concept, I think. It also has one arm and one leg kind of contorted backward so that each side has 2 limbs. And of course, as the name would suggest, they are each holding a pair of bloody lollipops. Now, I have seen this guy for sale a few times online, but the problem was almost always they were missing the lollipops, like the main feature of him. And I really wanted to try and find him with both of the lollipops intact, and I finally was able to do that, so I bought him. And I'm really happy with it to have a complete one, but he is honestly very, very creepy. Very good design. I really like the way he looks. So next up here, these are pretty cool. These are the other harness babies. If you remember Dollface, the other girl harness baby, she actually had 2 male counterparts that were sold as online-only zombie babies on Spirit's website on the zombie baby page. I think Dollface is the one that kind of gets all the recognition because, as I mentioned, she was sold in stores, had her own custom box, had her own custom name and all that. But yes, there were these 2 boy ones, this one being just the zombie baby harness spinner male baby, I think, or just boy. He does the same thing as Dollface, so you wear him over your chest in his little harness here. From the back, he looks like a pretty normal little baby, and when you activate him, his head will do a 180-degree spin backwards, his eyes will flash red, his mouth will move, and he will speak through 3 creepy phrases in a deeper male voice. So he is very cool. I did pick him up on Amazon. I think I got the second to last one that they had in stock, and I'm honestly not sure if they are going to restock them because I think Morbid Enterprises, which is the company that made him, unfortunately did go out of business. I could be wrong, but that is what I've heard. So I'm kind of glad I picked him up when I did. So next up here, we then have Deceptive Dougie. Now this little guy is another one that's kind of recent. He came out first in 2018, again was still available in 2020. He is fully static, so he does not do anything. He's not the creepiest baby, probably one of the ones people say isn't very good. I actually do kind of like him. This particular one I have here is actually a 2018 model. I got it on eBay just because I found it there cheaper than in stores and on Spirit's website. But I actually think the look of him is very good. This particular one here, the black around the eyes, is very pronounced. Some of the ones I saw this year, I don't know if they changed the design of him as the years go on, or the mold, but the faces on the newer ones looked a little more distorted and didn't have as much detail. So I'm actually happy that this original kind of 2018 model still has these really creepy black outlined eyes. I think it really helps sell the whole creepy look of him. But overall, I think he is a pretty good zombie baby regardless, and I'm glad I got him. Now down here we have Isabella, or Isabella Stabulots, I think is her full name. She came out in 2013, and she is another animated baby. She has, what does she do? Oh yes, her eyes will light up pink, not red, but pink actually, and she actually sings to the tunes of nursery rhymes. The two that she sings are Mary Had a Little Lamb and Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And the final bit of animation she has, if I turn her around here, she is holding a large bloody butcher knife behind her back. And as she sings, this knife will actually swing out to the side of her body and move up and down in tune to whatever song she is singing. She is very, very creepy. So now up here we have the second of the harness boy babies. This is the harness spinner Satan baby. As I mentioned, this is the another alternative of the doll face zombie baby. So it does the exact same thing as I just mentioned with the other one. The only thing with this one is its mouth does not move. And I actually think that is not a malfunction. I think that is on purpose. This particular baby had a couple of iterations made. One that did not have actual hair, but was just molded hair. I've heard there was a version that had a moving mouth. And then I also heard from some that they actually had a version that does not have a moving mouth. And I think that this is the model that does not have the moving mouth, even though this one and Dollface do have moving mouths. Regardless, I really love the look of him. I love the little horns, the pentagram, the eye detail is amazing. So even if he does not have moving mouth or whatever, I think he more than makes up for it with the rest of his look. And he says the same thing as the other male baby in that same creepy demonic voice. So coming down here then, we have Double Trouble. This is another 2014 zombie baby that also appeared in the Last Chance gas station theme. Again, fully static, so no light, sound, or movement, does not do anything. But this is the third conjoined zombie baby that I think we have from Spirit so far. Third one in my collection at least. And this time features a brother and sister instead of two of the same gender. And as you can see, they're having some lovely old sibling bonding time by pretty much biting and scratching the crap out of each other. So I really think they're very cool. I love the look of these wounds on them that were actually very prevalent in all of the 2014 zombie babies. It seemed like that was a theme, but I guess since they were all made by the same creator, that's just what they went with. But I think it definitely is very scary. And finally, the last new zombie baby in my collection. With this batch here, this means I am now up to 50 babies. I went from 38 to 50, which is pretty amazing. But the last one here we have is Piggy Little. This one is also from 2013, I believe. Fully static, but very, very cool. I really love the detail on this baby. I love the outfit. I love the little doll she's holding. I'm gonna assume it's a voodoo doll. I think that was a very cute detail. And of course the main feature. And believe it or not, I did not notice this when I first saw this baby. I did not notice that her finger is actually sticking through her nose. I always thought it was just in her nose, but somehow completely missed that it was actually sticking through. But overall, it's details like that that just make these things so much fun, just so creative, so detailed. I really, really enjoy them. So that is it for this part 2 video covering my full Spirit Halloween zombie baby collection. If you liked the video and are enjoying seeing how my collection is growing, then leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. I do fully intend to continue collecting. My goal is to eventually get all of the babies in the full Spirit zombie baby line, and as I get more, I will be making more update videos or overview videos showing the progress of my collection, as well as individual videos for certain babies as they arrive. So thank you all very much for watching. I'm glad you stuck around if you did. And until next time, I will see you guys later.